Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market update. And this update is for Wednesday, and we're at the 16th of July, 2025, and the time just about 6:10 p.m. Central Time. Kaboom! My wife's getting me ready for me to take some time off. So she's laying out different things for me that she would like me to wear and not be as serious because, again, I'm going to be headed out of town for a few days. While gone, I do my best to do some of these recordings, not with me in them, but a quick snapshot of what's going on. And I do cut my schedule back. I'm entitled to a few days off. I don't take a lot of them, as you know. Last year, I went out on vacation. In 48 hours, I was back in Chicago. Why? That F1 tornado hit, and I had tremendous damage out to my property. That's all repaired now. Let's hope we don't get another one of those. All right. Today was all about the president, again, taking out his paper airplane, throwing it like that, and going, let's see, I'm going to fire Fed Chair Powell. That's what he told the group or asked them about at the White House, according to the press. I wasn't there, so I can only go by what I'm hearing. And today, when market about 10:30 in the morning, all of a sudden breaking news, breaking in on CNBC. I had that up, and then I turned to other stations. President going to fire Fed Chair Powell. And, of course, the markets went into a dizziness. A lot of people had calm about him because, number one, he really doesn't have the authority to do that. Number two, there's no cause to do it. And number three, Powell is not his yes man. It's that simple. We want independence. We, you, me, the United States, in the Fed. We don't need a puppet Fed. What's the point of having them then? Erdogan had one in Turkey. Look what happened to them. They had to bring a woman in. I forgot what her name is, but she's done a fine job. And Erdogan didn't bother her, and she's taming things down. You cannot have the head of politics running the government's agency to look over. And that's what the Fed is. They're an agency to look over the government with spending. They're independent. They're not part of the federal government. And if they want to have a cost overrun on a building, as long as there's no fraud involved, just bad business on their part. But hey, nobody's perfect. And this is a 1930 building that they're redoing. And if you dig in and you look at the last time it was really redone, it needed a total redo. I'm going to repeat. It's a private institution. They're not using public money. I don't care what they do. I care that they do a good job, not that I'm not worried about the building that they want to spend their money on. All right, so you had that. Now you're going to get a lot more information. You're going to get the retail sales data. That's at 7:30. The Philly Fed business activity at 7:30. Import-export data at 7:30. And weekly jobless claims at 7:30. You're going to be busy. Markets will react, but probably like this. Oh, okay. That's what we have. National Association of Home Builders at 9 and the Business Inventory Index at 9. Okay. Big deal. Not a lot there that I'd get excited about. We have this afternoon the Beige Book come out. What's that doing? I think we had 7.5. People think things are improving a little. People think things aren't. No big change one way or the other. How's labor doing in your region? How's the other? Normally, I give it a write-up. When I read it, I said, there's nothing to even write about. It's pretty evenly split as to what's going on. We're hearing more about tariffs. We're hearing that Thailand is up next. It's like the NBA draft. Thailand, you're up next. What's your tariff going to be? What are you going to do there? So you've got that. Japan's a write-off. Say goodbye. India, the president says they're very close to the deal with India, which would be great. They are a country that we need what they can do, their production, so on and so forth. So we'll see. And then there's the other 150 countries that are going to get a letter, according to the president, any day now. I've given up on the president and Scott Bessent's dates. They both don't give us the real dates. Neither of them do. They change at the whim. Bessent, in all fairness, he's at the call of the president. The president runs the show, so if you think these dates are an iron, boy, are you mistaken. They're not. And as you can see on the reactions today, anything can happen in the markets. So things you got to be ready of. I just saw a flash a few minutes ago that the president has gotten Coca-Cola, supposedly, again, I want Coca-Cola to come out and say, they're going back to sugar cane and are going to drop corn fructose as the sweetener. Why? I haven't the slightest idea, but this seems to be something that the president wants. I don't know. I don't get it. As you can see, energies have been very tame. Bonds and notes sitting. Not a lot of news coming out of them one way or the other. I love to follow momentum in markets. Momentum. And in the momentum, the slow stochastic for 3 days has been telling you this market was going to pull back. And I know people don't believe in that. I do. I'm a real big believer the way that I use the slow stochastics. It's one of my favorite trading tools. And when you look at it, and you're going to see tonight, that's pretty much what they've done. That doesn't mean this bull trend is over. A pullback doesn't mean that you've ended a trend. We've made a short-term trading top. That much I can live with. The gold probably overdid it when it heard everything about Fed Chair Powell. Silver's pretty unchanged. Copper's close to unchanged. Not much there. The dollar had a nice run, got up to 98.59 because people are going, oh my God, the Fed chair's gone. They weren't selling the dollar. They were buying it on that news. And now we'll see what the rest of the markets want to do with that. So as we take a look at the S&P, it is down for the week a whopping 0.11%. In other words, 6.7 points on a weekly chart. Hasn't really done much. You see that when you look right here. This is a distribution pattern. I don't know which way it's going to break out. I'm not pretending that I do. I know the pattern. The pattern's a distribution pattern. The reason I don't have a feel for it is there's a higher high and low pattern. If the market breaks down, I thought it could go to the 18-day average. You tell me where it went. And when you look at this, it's not the Bollinger Band that drove the market. Here's what did it. You lost the bullish embedded reading. Kaboom. And that's about it. What more can I say? You've already done what it should do. And now, whether the reading stays lost or not, I don't care. Let's assume it stays lost here. My next objective still 62.53. Got it. When you take a look at the NASDAQ, it did not lose the embedded reading. It's losing it tonight, present tense, and that means it may not be lost by the close. I mean, you're an hour and 15 minutes or so into the trade for Thursday. I don't know if it'll stay down, but what I do know is momentum has been waning, and that waning momentum has told me that it's probably a good thing to be sidelined for a little bit and see how the market reacts. When you lost the reading in the Dow, went right to the number, stuck there. When you lost it in the Russell, went to the 18 and the 200-day average, stuck there. Take a look at the videos we've done each night, though. That was pretty much what I was talking about. Am I bullish or bearish? I'm neither. Now I'm an observer in the market. Very big difference. And now I spend a day or two or a week looking what's it doing. The DAX has done the same thing. When you lost the bullish embedded reading, it went right to the 18-day average, and it stuck. As it stuck, what it's forcing are the Bollinger Bands to wrap their arms around the market. That wrapping of the arms around the market, whoops, got hair all over the place here, will take the market and do what? Probably sit and look a little bit. That's what I would expect to take place. By the way, you haven't heard too much about negotiations getting bad or better between the EU and the US. I know that they're talking that in Europe, we'll punish Boeing. Yeah, fat chance on that. So you don't take their planes. Do you know the list? There's 6,000 planes in their book. You don't want them? Somebody else wants them, literally now. Bye-bye on that. Lower highs, lower lows. You can see where the market's sitting there. Okay, let's see what you can do. You're oversold. Would I have you on a fresh position, an oversold market, tell you to go short? Never. But there's zero reason to do anything on the long side. When you look at the 5-year note, you bounced away from the Bollinger Band back to the 100-day average, and that seems to be the battleground. Again, an oversold market. Everything seems to be in a small waiting pattern right now. The dollar, okay, let's back up a day here. Overbought coming in, was making a run at the upper Bollinger Band yesterday. The news today drives the dollar up, and it stops right at that number on the first challenge of it, and now it's very overbought. Here's what I can't figure out. Is this the bottom, or is this just a bounce, a nice bounce off that low, this big break, and now the market can resume the downtrend? I don't see anything on the chart to help me make that decision. I'm sure you have an idea. I just don't. In the euro, I was only looking to get back to the Bollinger Band. We talked yesterday. Let me go one more day back. First close with an outside day down. If it's going to continue, how do you know if it's going to continue? A stop over that high for sure. Wherever the Bollinger Band is should be the objective. You went basically right there, and you stopped. Okay, it's enough for me. You could still challenge it again, but you're oversold. Why be a hero in that? British pound down to the Bollinger Band, stopping. Same thing. These are the zones, if you're short, you're taking money off, you're oversold. Why are you playing for the last couple of digits? Doesn't make sense. Bitcoin. So far, I'm not hearing that this crypto week is gotten itself going to the point where the president is happy. I'll see what's passed, but I understand that there's a lot holding this up, and a lot of Republicans are holding up what the president wants done. Read about it. But higher lows, maybe lower highs developing too, and the Bollinger Band stopping the rally. You've married yourself to the 18-day average in the crude, and in that process, you bring in the Bollinger Bands. The more sideways action we get, the more excited you should get, because eventually it breaks out one big way or the other. Same thing going on to a large degree in the WTI. Gasoline has been sitting right there for over a week now, doing the identical thing. Nat gas has had a neat short covering rally that, one more time, if you haven't taken my course on enhanced Bollinger Bands, take a look. You lost the bearish embedded reading. The odds favor. I'm not going to tell you it always works, because it doesn't. But the odds are super strong that you're going to make a run for the 18-day average before you get back under that Bollinger Band. You don't think that just happened? If you don't, I disagree. What's that worth knowing? It helps me, at least, if I have a position in a market and I'm wondering, should I hang around or not? Gives me that reason. If I'm bullish, should it go higher? Yeah, sugar is one of those markets that I had that position. It lost one reading, and I think that it should be going higher. I'm looking at the weekly chart where it's doing it. And today there was some reward from that. It doesn't always work. Nothing in charting always works. If you think that's the case, the guy that teaches you that should be the richest guy in the world, because just wait for those setups. You know better than that. So what you also know better, why not try this charting service and some of our other services? They're free to you. Go up here, give it a click on the free offers, choose what you want, and from there you go. Again, you know that I love my kitties. I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a great evening. Watch the other videos, and I'll catch up with you in the morning.